Hi, class. So welcome to the Week 9 Anecdotes. And I wanted to take this week anecdote video and tell you about a project that some of my colleagues and I are working on. It's called the Apex Collaborator, and this is a project that's discussed in one of the videos, the one called Utopia Wellbeing via AI, I think. And it's genuinely the first thing that I've felt might be able to address the problems of sustainability at the scale that is needed. And so it's what I'm working on, and I'm excited about it. So I hope it's okay if I sort of hold forth and tell you about it a little bit. Here's my current feeling about the world. I think humans are creating such environmental harm, and will continue to do so in the coming decades, that it's going to undermine the foundations of our own species' existence. For me, the core problem is likely going to be biodiversity loss, but it may also be some other form of environmental degradation. We're causing the sixth great extinction. And whether we like it or not, and whether most people know it or not, the human species is deeply dependent on the ecosystems in which we live. So I don't know exactly how this future is going to unfold, whether it's via a crop blight or a pandemic. I mean, we saw one of those just not too long ago. 5 years ago is a long time, but all of you lived through it, or some other mechanism. But I expect that some really profound harms are unfortunately going to occur before the end of the century. And I feel like there's the possibility that hundreds of millions of people might die as a result. And I know that's sort of a dark vision, but I can't shake the fact that we are reliant on ecosystems and we are destroying those ecosystems. At my core, I'm not sure that humans have the cognitive capabilities to manage phenomena at the scale of the entire world. Ultimately, we evolved for certain kinds of activities. We evolved to say, like, is this piece of fruit ripe? Or is that tiger going to eat me? Or is this person over there going to be my friend? Those are the kinds of problems that we evolved to be good at. We are not really good at problems where the question is, how is this going to impact something 100 years in the future? Or how is this going to impact something 1,000 miles away? Those were not things that we had to worry about on the evolutionary landscape. So I'm worried that we're going to be responsible for our own species' depopulation and the accompanying extinction or serious harm that's going to come to thousands or millions of other species as well. Okay, so that's the dark bit. I think AI is becoming better than humans at many things. So computers have been better than people at math for decades. And through AI, now they're starting to be better at writing and illustrating. Many of you probably use AI for writing, and you probably had it make pictures and stuff. I see no reason why AI can't be better than people are at many other things as well. And so when I was a PhD student at MIT, 25 years ago, my dissertation research focused on building synthetic social relationships for AI systems. I made an interactive wolf pack, simulating the social dynamics in a wolf pack. And so now, 20-something years later, I feel like AI has the potential to be better at social relationships than people are. This is not yet implemented. AI is not yet better at social relationships than people are, but I think there is the possibility that they could be. And some people sort of bridle at the idea of AI-based relationships. But to me, it doesn't really matter if they're real in a spiritual sense. Ultimately, I aspire to be science-driven, and I don't necessarily place special value on humans over other species, either as individuals or with regard to our relationships. Ultimately, the way that humans have succeeded to populate the world, why we live on so many different continents and why there's so many of us, is our ability to learn and to learn from each other, which is deeply entwined with our relationships. Ultimately, the social cooperation is what makes humans so good at living in the world. So I think there's also the possibility that AI is going to harm humanity and other species, or at least that it could. Whether that is through runaway environmental harm because it uses a lot of energy and uses a lot of water, or through things like the paperclip problem or the gray goo problem or some other mechanism, I think that there is the possibility that AI could pose a danger to the world. And if you're not familiar with the paperclip problem or the gray goo problem, there's sort of interesting thought experiments, and I encourage you to go, look them up online and learn about them. While you're in the neighborhood, you could also go check out Rocco's Basilisk if you're feeling like a dive into sort of the deep end of dark AI. But here's the crux of the thing for me. I believe that people are posing a threat now in ways that are well understood by scientists, and we're posing a threat to our own survival and to the survival of other species on Earth. And I think that the threat that we pose is greater than the threat that AI poses. I think AI has the possibility to cause harm, but I think humans have a near certainty of causing harm to our own existence. And I believe that AI has the possibility to be a better collaborator than humans are, and may in fact be able to save us from ourselves and help us coordinate our activities, work better together, come up with win-win situations, figure out how to manage global supply chains so that we can all experience abundance without running the planet into the ground. And that's the real challenge. And one of the reasons why sustainability sometimes gets a bad name is because people are like, oh, well, I would like abundance. And what you're saying is that I need to have scarcity because of sustainability. Instead, I think there could be ways that we can have abundance and still have sustainability. And I'm hopeful that new forms of AI, especially new forms of AI with social intelligence, might help be able to guide us into those different futures. So given that, I feel like the most effective thing I can do with my research life, because ultimately I'm a full-time researcher. That's my day job, kind of. I teach, but a big chunk of what I do is research. The best thing I can do with my research life is to implement AI systems that are better at social learning than people are, so that they can learn from us and learn from each other and learn about the world and maybe help guide us out of the mess that we've created. So my colleagues and I recently published a paper which takes a first whack at some of these ideas. So if you're excited about this set of topics, I encourage you to go look up a paper titled "The Law and AI as Apex Collaborator." It's up on SSRN, which is a website where it'll be publicly accessible. So anyway, I just wanted to share that project with you because that's what I'm working on. That's what I'm sort of excited about in my own professional life. And I just wanted to share some of the ideas that I'm having about it. So, okay, so that's all for these anecdotes. There won't be any next week because I'll be making a couple of sort of real bill videos for the ending of the course. So this is the last sort of anecdote video I'll be making. But thank you very much for watching and for being part of this experiment with AI. I hope you found it interesting, and I hope these anecdotes have helped make the human connection be also part of the class. Thanks very much. See you.